Hi guys, welcome back. It's Chrissy the Crystal Indigo, and I am here with your Twin Flame Energy Weekend Update for August 30th to September 1st. Again, this is for August 30th to September 1st, 2019. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to book a reading with me, my services is in the description box. But I'm going to dive right into the reading. So the first column I have for the Divine Masculine, and the first card came out is Spring. So for you guys, some of you guys, spring could be something that really resonate with you guys. Like for example, spring could be the time that you met. Spring could be the time that you know your divine counterpart has come into your life. So for example, in my connection, I met my divine masculine March 25th. So a few days after spring had settled. This also could mean what I'm picking up is just like, you know, engagement, wedding, even though the card isn't saying that, this is what I'm seeing, purity. So for some, you guys can come into full union in spring. So think about spring, think about springtime, whether it was past or what's coming. Because spring is something that strongly resonates with your journey, and only you know what that represents. The next card that came out, we got release. So divine masculine is releasing right now, and you see this little boy here, and he's letting this like balloon like go up into the air. And with divine masculines, I feel like they're going from being, you know, that immature mentality, not understanding the connection, to finally releasing everything and purging everything and realizing what the divine feminine was to them in the first place. And a lot of them are starting to, you know, get sad and feel like it's something missing, because at the end of the day, they're realizing what they let go of was what they needed. So a lot of the divine masculine, whether, you know, the energy could be interchangeable, you know, whether the divine feminine got fed up and just was like, you know, I need a break. But if you think about it, through this whole connection, there was that separation, come back, separation, come back. So divine masculine has had, you know, the full release of just allowing everything to be released that has held, you know, the divine masculine down, whether, you know, woman or female, you know, the energy is interchangeable. Okay, so like a lot of the divine masculines are really going through this release, and this has been a theme for months, right? Because the divine masculine has been like fighting against the divine, not trying to resist, staying into that like ego kind of mentality. And then one day divine masculine realized, like, wait a minute, like, where's my divine feminine? You know, what have I done? You know, how can I get my divine feminine back? Like, even though you're not communicating with your divine feminine, and this is what I'm strongly getting for the collective. You know, some of us, you know, may have started going into union and things started to pick up with communication, etc. But for those who are not into like in communication, this is slowly coming in, because your divine masculine is starting to see the error in, you know, their ways, and they're realizing like, wait, I made a mistake, right? The next card that came out, you got it says big dreams. So you may be showing up in your divine masculine dreams. Your divine masculine may be making plans now, and you are a part of those plans. As before, divine masculine was just like in and out, flaky, you know, didn't know like what they wanted. And now the divine masculine is seeing the dreams, is seeing the visions, is getting the answers from above. And now they're like, you know, I want, you know, this person a part of my dreams. You know, this person is what makes me whole. Like, this person is what at the end of the day, who has helped me heal, helped me realize a lot of things. Okay, for the next card that came out, divine feminine. So divine feminine shows up in the divine masculine spread. This is what is on divine masculine's mind. Divine masculine knows now that you are the divine feminine, that you are the one. And maybe, you know, you can see this in a couple videos that have been posted from some of the readers, that divine masculine is realizing that they've made a mistake. Like, at first they may have thought, because of how intense the connection was, how, you know, the push and pull, the separation, the comeback, the fallback, like all of that. Now that you, divine feminine, has been stepping into your power, you haven't been communicating, you haven't been, you know, texting, email, you haven't been having your page public. The divine masculine is like, wait a minute, what is going on? You know, why isn't, you know, my divine feminine hitting my line? Like, why do I feel like, you know, I've lost my divine feminine? Because, you know, divine masculine always felt like that no matter what they did, no matter how they treated you, you would always be there. And now divine masculine is realizing that there's a chance that you may be gone forever. They don't, you know, quite understand the connection, maybe not, you know, the terminology, but they know now there's something special with you, that you are the one. And now they're kicking their, you know, themselves in the tail, because they're like, man, how could I have made this mistake? And at the end of the day, they thought maybe, you know, a karmic was their, you know, soulmate or divine counterpart. But now with you being away, they are starting to see all you brought was love, unconditional love. You loved them no matter what, whether right, wrong, or indifferent. You weren't their yes man. I say this all the time. You always told divine masculine exactly what divine masculine needed to hear. And sometimes you were shut out for it. Sometimes you went into separation because of it. And at the end of the day, no matter what, you still stood strong and communicated to the divine masculine in the, you know, within the era of their ways, what they needed to change. And now the divine masculine is seeing that and has started to make improvements. And now divine masculine has that aha moment, like, wait, like, hold up. Like, I'm not changing because of who I was with or who I thought I was supposed to be with. I'm changing because this person has showed me so much. You understand? So for the divine feminine, the first card that came out, fall. So with fall, like I said, this could resonate with some of you guys. You guys may have met in the fall. You guys may be coming into union into fall for those who are in separation, like October, September. That's it's been talking about the energies, like, and up into the winter, like how the you know, the twin flame, the light workers, like, they're going to start coming together and becoming in union. And so right now starts the momentum of it, and then it builds up into the winter. And then, you know, next year is the year 4, like this year is the year 3. And so if you look back at the whole year, what were you growing and going through? What changes have you made? What have you realized about yourself? So with this fall card, and I see this like light in the 2, which looks like an 11 to me, you know, a lot of twin flames are coming into union because the mask have fallen off. Divine has stepped in, because in some connections, like divine masculine was really not like letting up, and divine masculine really had to be like, okay, boom, you know. And I always say, like, we do have free will, but what's destined and what's divine, we cannot overtake that. Okay. The next card that came out, third party. A lot of the divine feminines and divine masculines in the connection in this collective have had third party issues with their partner, whether it be another person, whether it be like addicted to sex, drugs, drinking, like, you know, a toxic work environment. It's just like, you know, it could be several things, but third party was you know, the issue. And it's not saying that divine feminine may be a part of the third party. Maybe divine masculine had another person, and that was the issue in this connection, where divine feminine was really trying to show divine masculine, like, this is not who you think, you know, you're dealing with. Like, I'm trying to show you the way, and even not do it in a malicious way, but just really speak truth. Because when you have those spiritual gifts, and like the divine feminine is more awakened than the divine masculine, they're gonna prophesize, they're gonna speak, they're gonna say what things are. And because, you know, maybe your divine masculine couldn't say it to you, that they still was in love, they still was stuck, they really didn't know like which way to go. Because when you came into their life, I'm telling you, they were not expecting to fall for you the way they did. They just thought it was going to be a wham bam thank you ma'am, or wham bam thank you mister, you know what I mean? And it didn't end up like that, because of who you are, because of who they are in this connection. They ended up being so drawn to you, and even when they wanted to break away, they couldn't. So when you have those separations, and then they're magnetically drawn back to you, they still had other issues going on that haven't been, worked out yet. Regardless of what they were telling you, they still had issues and concerns, and all they had to do was just be open and honest and express that. And the divine feminine would have rocked out and been like, okay, well, this is what I think, is the best, decision, for us right now. You know what I mean? And divine feminine would have came at it from a spiritual standpoint to make, or to not even make, but to help divine masculine along the way. But that didn't happen because, of course, you tell somebody like your feelings about this and that, and automatically you think you lost them. But all divine masculine really had to do was just be open, like open up their heart and say what it really was. To some divine feminists, divine masculine would just say like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Or, I just need time. I got a lot of things going on, knowing that they were out there, crackling and snackling in sheets, doing other like low vibrational things while you were being there, you were having their back and support. And now they see that. They see how much they've hurt you and they regret it. The next card that came out, free will. So with divine feminine, like divine feminine has free will, divine masculine has free will. But I am specifically telling you that in some connections, because of the mission that you have been assigned to and the work you have been destined to do, divine can step into that and steer it another way. It doesn't matter, because when you're called, when you're chosen, you're chosen. And like I said, for those, you already know what I'm talking about. Some of us, you can shut your gifts off, ignore it, boom, never bothers you again. For others, it will chase you down until you turn around and say, you know what, I accept. And I am a living witness of that, okay? So free will, yes, divine masculine has free will. You have free will, but what's meant, what's destined, over, it weighs over everything, okay? The next card that came out, we got vibrations. So when I see this card, the first thing that I felt, I was like, I feel you. Like, I feel you. And sometimes I found myself this week whispering that to myself, like about my divine masculine. I'll say my divine masculine's name and be like, I feel you. You know what I mean? Because your connection is so strong. And when your divine masculine, feels those vibrations, like, so, if, they're not awakened as you are. So they're not going to be like, oh, this is coming from my divine feminine, or this is this, but you are. So when automatically your emotions shift or something changes and you're just like, let me clear this energy, let me fix this. So when I feel like that, or when I get those vibrations and downloads from spirit and, doing meditations and things like that, I make sure I write it down in my dream journal. Or my spiritual journal, so that way I can keep note of what's happening. And with these vibrations, you're getting a download from the universe. You're getting the answers that everything is going to be perfectly fine, right? And now with divine feminine, you have stepped into your power. You're about, yourself, like your self-love. Yes, you do love your divine masculine, but right now you're just like, you're not even thinking about your divine masculine as much as you used to. Like, they'll cross your mind and you'll just send loving thoughts. Or if you feel like they need healing because you're feeling a little off because of their energy, you send them healing love. But at the end of the day, divine feminine is like smiling at people now, like wondering what it'll be like to, go on a date, like stuff like that. Divine feminine is not, so stuck on divine masculine. This is what needed to happen, because divine masculine needed to see the divine feminine for who he or she is and was. And until divine masculine can see that, they won't be able to appreciate this connection. They won't be able to understand that this connection is beautiful, that this is from the heavens, like this is, from other dimensions, and, things like that, that the both of, divine feminine and masculine has been brought together for this journey, and it has to be done. It has to be completed. And a lot of divine feminine and divine masculine have done this over and over again in different lifetimes. This is the lifetime that you're going to come into union. For example, my divine masculine would never listen to me in our past lives, right? And so in our past lives, I was his teacher. So he wasn't ready for battle. He wasn't strong enough, and I insisted that. So he went out into the forest and tried to go, fight and do this mission. And I remember seeing myself right now here and fast forward, running through a forest, running. And I was like, where am I going? Like, where am I going? And then when I had my soul regression done, he picked up where my part ended. And he was like, because this is what happened. So that's how I knew, not even just that, but when we first met physically, my soul reached out. It was like my soul wanted to just climb out and was like, there you are, like I remember you. And I always tell you guys this in the, on my channel. So I'm going through the journey right along with you guys. So I'm going to give you nothing but the best advice. I'm not going to steer you wrong. I'm going to be honest, raw, and real, right? So your divine masculine and yourself is picking up on these vibrations, on these downloads, and getting spirits, answers to your questions. And now everything that you like would hint and like try to tell your divine masculine to get them to get more in tune spiritually, they're seeing it themselves now, right? So the message from divine masculine to divine feminine, let's go. So the first message to divine feminine: your beauty still moves me. Of course, because you allowed your divine masculine to see you authentically, genuinely naked. I still love you. And they love you more now because like they feel like they can't have you, like they've lost you. So it's the yearning. It's now their memories are like playing in their head, you know what I mean? You've been in my dreams. In 5D, even in 3D, when you do your 5D meditations, your masculine feels that. And before they may have thought like, maybe you put a root on them or something like that because they just couldn't understand. Like out the blue, I've been involved with this other person all these years, and I felt like even though, we've been rocky, we've had our ups and downs, I always felt like, maybe we would be the one to be in union. And then here comes this divine feminine, and it's like, what the world, The next card that came out, is it possible to forgive and forget? So what divine masculine wants to know is it possible for you to forget the past, what happened, and for you guys to have a fresh start, like a new beginning? Is it possible for you to forgive and forget and just move forward? Choose love and light, right? So this is what's all in the divine masculine's head. And then these are the messages to the divine masculine from divine feminine. So the first card to divine masculine: I'm finally feeling the consequences of my actions. So with this card being from the divine feminine, I feel like with divine feminine, I should have done the healing work a lot sooner. If I would have done the healing work a lot sooner, things would be a lot different. But at the end of the day, we have to go through what we go through, and we all learn and grow, in our time, right? I just wasn't ready for you. When divine masculine showed up, it just flipped divine feminine's world upside down because they've never felt that type of intensity and love, for someone. And, for divine feminine, they were afraid, they were scared, but they kept, going with it, especially with the advice from their divine masculine, like, oh, let's just give it a try, let's just whatever. But at the end of the day, divine feminine always felt like, oh my God, like, that anxiety, like, what is this? You know what I mean? As divine feminine was, going through the awakening stages and like spiritual gifts expanding more, it was just like, am I ready for this? I got spooked, see? So, with divine feminine, with the spooked, I feel like more of being spooked that, with the connection that divine masculine wouldn't be with divine feminine, that they would choose the karmic, that with the way they were feeling, they never would be accepted with their gifts, just everything. Like, divine feminine had their anxieties as well, and their hang-ups in the childhood, past trauma, or past trauma that they need to heal from too. The next card that came out, I can I can't ignore the signs I'm receiving any longer. Yeah, those 1111s, 333s, 1155, 911s, 222, 111, 1212, 2222, 444. I mean, we can go on all night. So the signs are just everywhere, and then it's so crazy that in that moment when you're thinking of your divine masculine, like you'll see, or interchangeable, the divine masculine thinking of the divine feminine, you'll see like 1111, or you'll see 111, or you'll see 222, like the moment you're thinking about them. So always try to remember what you were thinking about in that moment, and then look up that angel number so you can get the information. Okay. So for the Romance Oracle, the first card that came out is religious factors. It says your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So with the divine masculine, it's like, in their life, maybe, spirituality was frowned upon. Spirituality is like different, it goes different, like way in another world in a sense, and you know what I'm trying to say. So with spirituality, you have different beliefs. You have some people are witches, some people are warlocks, some people are magicians, some people are you know indigos, like, you know what I mean, like the titles. So with that being said, you don't know what your divine masculine encountered when they were young or when they were growing up, and maybe the reason why they were so afraid of this journey and just put up so many walls was because they saw the negative side of it. You understand what I'm saying? So here you come trying to introduce them to what they already have inside of them that they've been trying to run and hide from, and it starts to shake things up a little bit. So that's why I said, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done it in bits. I wouldn't have like saw a vision and then like email or call right away, like, oh my God, like I saw this, blah, blah, blah. And not thinking this is probably making my divine masculine think I'm like a psycho. You understand what I'm saying? And so I would always have that question of, do you think I'm weird? Like, do you accept me as I am? And then my divine masculine would give me their input. The next card that came out, we got calling in your soulmate. So it says, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together, right? So that's what we've been doing. Like, like now you've been studying like the moon phases, like you've been doing your affirmations, you've been doing your healing work, you have been doing your energy work, and you're really like allowing divine to take the lead, but you're also doing your part, right? So they say, you don't get help unless you help yourself. Well, that's the part where you're helping yourself, because you're like, okay, even though we're in separation, even though I've got, been put through hell for some of the divine feminines, I'm still going to choose unconditional love. And so you send that healing energy, you sit there and do your affirmations, you sit there and see yourself. Remember, you have to say what you want to see, right? And now all of a sudden, like just out the blue, like you're starting to get like images, and you start to daydream and you see you and your divine masculine just like getting married, walking down the aisle, or doing fun stuff, you being pregnant. Like you start to see those type of visions. And sometimes I have to ask myself, like, did I just put this in my head, or did this just come from somewhere else, right? The next card that came out, reconciliation. So it says someone from your past is returning to your life. So like I said, divine masculine is ready to reconcile, but you divine feminine, you have to stay in your power. Don't reach out, don't text, don't call, don't send a kite. I don't care what you have to do. When you feel the urge of wanting to reach out so strong, start speaking to divine. Start communicating with divine. If divine gives you that okay, like yes, you can go ahead and communicate. But you really need to stand in your power, because this is the only way divine masculine is going to come forward and realize your worth, what you mean to them. If you keep running back every time they give you a little piece of like of the light, like a chance of optimism that this could be like, and then you notice 3 weeks later, it's crumbled back all over again, start from square one, and you're just back down in low vibrational energy. We want to stay away from that. You really have to stand in your power, continue to love them, hold space for them. But the only way you're going to accept any type of offer if you're coming forward. Your divine masculine has to come to you now. If this resonates with you, leave me a comment in the comment section. The next card that came out, look at that, forgiving and learning. It says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. You're not forgiving them for them. You're forgiving them for you. You're not learning now because of them. You're learning now because you want a better you. Yeah, they played a role in helping you realize and to see things, but you were the one who decided you wanted to make the change. All right? Okay, that was a lot of energy. All right, guys, so that was the Twin Flame energy update for the weekend for September 30th through, for August 30th through September 1st. Again, I am doing a contest. The 300 follower to follow me on Instagram, Chrissy.thecrystalindigo, you will win a free reading of your choice. So whatever it is, whether it's distant healing, whether it's tarot, love, twin flame reading, you will win a reading of your choice. Again, it's Chrissy.thecrystalindigo on Instagram. Again, I want to thank all of you guys for your love, for your support, for following me. I literally got like 60 new subscribers in less than like one day. And I love it because you guys help me, you motivate me, you inspire me, and I know this is a part of my life path and purpose. And one day I want to be able to leave my job and do this 100% like all the time, because I know this is part of what I'm supposed to be doing. And again, my energy exchange information is in the description box. Again, if you don't have to donate to the channel, you can just like, share, subscribe, or follow me on Instagram at Chrissy.thecrystalindigo, and that's a form of exchange. Because as you can see, as we communicate to you guys, as we talk, our energy starts to get drained, and we're depleted a little bit after this. It's kind of like, it's a lot. And so I'm learning to make sure that I'm shielded and grounded, so that way, like, I can give you the best information from spirit. So with that being said, I love you all. Have a good night.